Sonya, Caitlyn, welcome to the show.
Hi, Austin.
Hello.
Hello. Well, we have a lot to cover today, and I don't know where to start, so I'm going to turn it over to you, but I will help you. I think where we should start, like I said, lied. I do know where to start. Take me back to 2019 and that pivotal turn my life around, dare I say, crux moment when you opened your yoga studio and what led you to do that.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for having us on. First of all, we're super excited about this. Our passion is most definitely empowering women, and I believe that I had a lot of people in my life that empowered me, and that's why I'm sitting here. Caitlin's one of those people. 2019 was a really big year for me. My husband was deployed with the United States Army. I had moved to Florida, to Pensacola. I was brand new to the area. And I was kind of moving from one career to another career. I had owned a construction company for over 20 years. I had done really well financially in that, but my body was ready for something else. And to be honest, so was my soul. I had the opportunity to take over a dance studio from a friend of mine, and I turned it into Nirvana Holistic Healing Center. And it was the love of my life at the time. And it was a beautiful part of the community. We had modality classes, we had events, we did socialization, different things, and it was absolutely amazing. And we put a lot of heart and soul into it. It wasn't just a yoga studio. We did meditation. We taught people to come out of anxiety with natural types of works with that. And it was just beautiful. And so I opened in October of 2019, and it was the normal struggle, just like any new business. And around the beginning of March 2020, I was this close to having a little bit extra in my bank account that maybe I was going to get paid. And then.
What happened in March 2020? I don't remember.
Oh, let me see. So the COVID hit, and it was pretty. It's a big punch in the face because we just got to that point where people were getting to know us. We had a little bit of movement financially, so just like everybody, every single one of us around the world, it hit us hard. I did not really lay down though. I did take 10 days off. Went home, painted my house, and did a meditation and cleansed my body at the end of March. But without permission from the governor at that moment, I opened and I stayed open. We definitely practiced social distancing, but I didn't have a mask on my face. I thought that it was really important that people could go at least one place and see a smile. So I had a big thing on the door outside. It said "Free Hugs, Pensacola." And so we had to just go ahead and do anything and everything that we could do at that moment to keep the doors open. I started selling local honey. We did classes outside. I began teaching Reiki. We did anything and everything that we could to keep the movement, keep everything happening. And we did wonderful. About August 2020, again, just about to hit that moment where it might be possible that I could have a little bit of a paycheck. It was feeling really good. The community was really responding to us. They were lifting mask mandates. Life was kind of maybe starting to find some normalcy. And then lo and behold, September, I believe it was September 16th, a beautiful natural hurricane called Sally came in, and Sally left her mark. She put 3 trees on the studio, devastated the structure of it, and the owner of the building was not able to fix it. So we did classes outside, we did markets, we did everything that we could just to kind of keep moving until God told us what was next. And what was next for us was absolutely amazing. So as hard as everything was for those couple of months, it was devastating. I loved the building. I loved Nirvana Studio. I loved my clients. I did feel like there was more. There was something more for me. So empathic practice is a beautiful holistic Healing Center in Pensacola, Florida. And I had become friends with and actually was getting business coaching from the owner, Felipe. And he actually gave me a call in October of 2020. He knew about the studio and he said that he would love to invite me to be a part of his practice. I didn't know what that meant, really. I didn't know what I was going to offer. There wasn't a large space to teach classes. So I reverted back to doing life coaching, spiritual coaching, and opened up True Peace by Zoe Starr, and just literally just started, seeing one-on-one clients from that moment. That was opened in December of 2020, and from there, everything just kind of,
fell into place.
Yeah, just kind of moved. Caitlyn and I had known that we wanted to do something together. Spirit actually placed it in my body, gave me a message that one day I would be working with Caitlyn. And so I had saw online on Facebook some cryoscan ads, and I started looking into the machine because I had actually been extremely interested in CoolScoping and the different aspects of that, and realized very quickly that wasn't for me. So then I started looking into different machines that smaller spas could have, med spas could have. And instantaneously in January, got absolutely hooked on the information from this machine because it's a lot different than the other machines. You don't have to carry around big old cans of nitrogen. I just kept thinking if I had to carry cans of nitrogen that's somewhere in all of this, maybe kind of my car would blow up. I didn't know.
You weren't going to find out either.
No. So I began to talk to a beautiful young lady named Courtney at Artemis, and she started to get us prepped and ready for a business. It was absolutely like step by step. They were with us. We didn't know where this was going to go. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen. Caitlyn had medical background. I'm an entrepreneur, so usually what I touch turns to gold financially. So I was just hoping that was going to be what happens, and
it happened.
Well, the past 12 months have absolutely blown our minds. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mind-boggling. Exactly.
I'm reminded of a quote from the scholar of our generation, whose name is Mike Tyson, who said that everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah.
And you could say you both were punched in the face twice, and you got off the mat and you continued on. How and or why? More interestingly, how?
Okay. So the first thing I think is very important, and I really just want to make sure that everyone understands the core of what Caitlyn and I believe. God is the how and the why and the what for us. So the first thing we did is we prayed about a partnership together. We prayed about the machine. We prayed about the company who we bought the machine from. We prayed about all those aspects. And when we really felt like, we were ready to move forward, we did it in pure transparency. We're always recognizing our strengths and weaknesses. I think that's extremely important. Not to identify your weaknesses, to point them out to you, but so that they will always be there so that you can work on them. And if your partner knows what your weaknesses are, she can help you build those up. So I asked Caitlyn to set up the Facebook page and the website. Artemis has a beautiful system. They really help you step by step by step. So a lot of the things we would not have had any idea of what we should have done. But the Artemis team, they set you up and they really, really help you. The website was really, really helpful. We were able to get a lot of our information, printing our flyers off and different things. So the first step for us was in April of last year. We went to Sarasota, Florida together, road trip.
Yeah.
And we got certified as cryo technicians. And we came back. So we had about 6 hours of training online, 6 hours of training there. And when we came back, we already had people waiting for consults. We had one machine. We call her Gloria.
Yep.
Glorious Gloria. And one tiny little office. It's about 150 square feet, and that's what we started with. We did anything and everything that we could. We utilized Facebook a lot. We utilized Instagram, a lot of word of mouth. I was still going through, trying to own my power and get comfortable with pricing. I had never really been in this type of industry with, the higher end products. So it was a little bit of a step into. You overcome a lot of different things when you start setting prices and value to your time and your business. And so I'm super grateful that we were able, I think Caitlyn and I kind of step by step were in the same progress a lot. I'd be like, ooh, that's a lot. That package, ooh, I don't know. And she'd be like, it's okay. Artemis sets the prices for us. We're able to maintain that. So the first thing I want to talk about, like for result wise for us, was I bought the machine so that I could do it on my arms. I had experienced cancer for the third time, and it was my breast for the third in that one. And so I was a very muscular person. I did construction for 22 years. So I went from being able to hang drywall and paint to not being able to use my arms for 2 years. So what happened is the muscle very quickly deteriorated and started forming calcified fat deposits. And for a woman, her arms, usually you've got, you want to feel really confident in this area. And I was devastated at having had beautiful arms all my life. And then, the skin was hanging and all of those things. So I was expecting to have to be on the machine 2-3 times a week for a couple of months, because I didn't just have a little bit of skin or a little bit of fat. I had the fat deposits, and it should have taken a little bit longer. 8 sessions. And so once you experience it for yourself and you watch the change happen, you can really, I don't sell anybody anything. I tell the truth about a machine and a product. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything, because I know it happens. I know the results of it. It absolutely changed my life. My arms, I've done it on my face. And so Caitlyn and I just absolutely love the machine. So I believe that a good portion of our success, number one, is because we incorporate God in everything. Number two, we're very, very truthful with each other, recognizing, again, our strengths and our weaknesses, working on those together. And then number three, I don't know if there's another spa owner who believes in their product as much as we do.
Right.
I really, really think that has a lot to do with it. April, May, June, of course, kind of slow months. I'm actually going to turn it over to Caitlyn for a few minutes, because Caitlyn, she is more of she set up the website. She talks to the clients one-on-one. I definitely, communicated with people. My strong point is starting a business, running a business, bringing people in. Caitlyn is just amazing at talking to people, understanding what they need, and helping them feel comfortable with the purchase. And then, of course, we would see the clients. She's a single mom, so one of the main things I wanted to do for her was make sure that when her son got out of school, she didn't have to be at work anymore. So my shift would begin when her shift ended, and we just, kind of balanced that out. But the first 3 months was kind of slow. It was slim pickings, and it was scary, and a few times they're learning what works, what doesn't work, and again, I really think for the new business owners out there, let's just acknowledge the fact that setting prices, it's a thing. It's you have to get okay with it inside of your body. You're telling someone that my time is valuable, my product is valuable, and so you need to be in a good space to be able to do that. And I think that's why Caitlyn and I have about an 85% success rate.
Mm-hmm.
If we get your phone number and we call you, there's an 85% chance you're going to buy at least a 10-pack and love, love, love us.
Whoa, wait a minute. At
Yeah.
least
At
a
least.
10-pack.
Okay.
I have a bunch of
Okay.
repeat clients. So I have one client who has been with us pretty much from the beginning, and she's on package number 4.
Shout out to Tanya.
Tanya. Yeah, package
Tanya.
number 4. I mean, she saw the results from the first main area, and she's just loves it, and it makes her feel good and feel confident. And so she makes it her weekly self-care day to feel better about herself.
And she loves Caitlyn.
And she loves.
It kind of helps that they share space in a certain way too.
That's one thing that's really, I found that is really important with the business, is being yourself and being true and authentic. When your clients feel like they can resonate with you, because they can truly feel your confidence and your belief in, your product and what your service is, they feel that. And so they feel that from us. And so that, I believe truly, that is why they're successful, because of the confidence and me believing in what we have to offer.
Yeah.
That's a great segue to bogs. What are bogs? I'm glad you asked. As I yell in your ear, I just realized I'm screaming and you have AirPods in your ears. Bogs, I think it's a term I believe introduced to from Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. So it stands for big, hairy, audacious goals. And you guys, and we'll get into some of the outcomes that you've experienced with not just the machine, which, I mean, I'm leery to have you speak to that because it sounds like a pitch for Artemis, which it's not. It's jaw-dropping when we hear about what you've been able to do results-wise with the machine from a business perspective, and then more interestingly, I think at least, from a client or customer end user perspective. So we'll get into that, but I think the first step in coloring up and contextualizing these insane outcomes that you've attained from revenue and everything else is the chart setting, let's say, or the goal setting that you've done. And Sonya, you've literally written out is manifesto the correct term for that? I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yes.
This is what I'm going to do. Not even
Yes.
the devil, God, Muhammad, whatever you're into. Muhammad. Oh my God. I can't speak. Okay. English is only my first language. You started with the end in mind, if I'm reading your story correctly. So can you talk us through how you selected your goals and then what you've done to materialize those along the way? Everything from the visualization practice, the manifestation practice, meditation, etc. I don't know, Caitlyn, if you want to chip away at that first. I know you're racing the clock. We have a consult here in 20 minutes, so maybe you can speak to that, and then I'll turn it over to Sonya.
I would love to pitch in on this. So we get our goal, we get the vision, and we hold that vision, and we don't worry about the hows, the who's, and the what. We just hold the vision and we leave everything else up to God. And we truly believe that what we set our intention for, it has no choice but to come to us. So we set the intention and we release it, and we stay at a high vibration by doing meditative practices and things like that. And so we don't really go searching for the hows and the whats and the who's and the things like that. Is we just set the intention that this is what we wish to call in and receive for the month, and that's it. And it's worked out beautifully. So she made the manifesto that said that we are going to sell X amount of consults, and we are going to bring in a minimum of $30,000 a month. And we have done such, actually surpassed $30,000 a month consecutively for the last 3 months. Yeah.
We didn't start off with $30,000 though. I couldn't write $30,000 down the first time, but the first 90 days, what I did was the goal setting was really, I think the first month I said 10,000, and we were able to do that.
And the first week you said?
Month.
First month. So this is the first month of what?
The first month of having
opening.
The machine, first month of working together, the first month of us being in the beauty business. The first month of everything. The first month was last year, April, and we set a $10,000 goal. We set up tents outside the medical practice, and I was doing cryo on my arms on Facebook Live, inviting people in for the facials. We've done all kinds of markets and different things like that. So the first month it was 10,000, and even writing that down for me was a little bit hard. But the second month, I moved up in increments, $5,000 every month. And when I write my manifesto, as a thank you to the universe for what it's already giving me. So I don't say the words I want. I don't say the words I need. I don't say any of those things. I say the manifesto usually has like a time on it. So right now, we're in April right now. My manifesto currently reads that, thank you so much, universe, that in July, I have cash flow of $60,000 in the bank account. Thank you so much that I've paid off my third machine that we just received yesterday. Thank you so much, universe, that my pool staff is completely certified and ready to rock and roll. And thank you so much that they're completely devoted to me as I am devoted to them. Thank you so much that we have 3 machines, 3 cryo machines, and now we're adding in the Acme machine, the plasma machine. We're super excited about that. So we write out as though we've already received it, and we're thanking the universe for it. So from April of last year till about August, we moved slowly, but we moved. Just going to be transparent. Not every month did I reach the number that I set, but I could look back at those months and we could tell you that
Why?
A lot of it had to do with me getting fearful. Sometimes I would be like, I'm not sure, should we try that? I'm not, it's natural to have fear. What you have to do when you have the fear, though, is instead of embracing the fear and allowing it to move into your body, acknowledge the thought. So when I have fears, like even this morning, I was like, I'm getting online and doing it. I get a little nervous when I'm doing interviews. I saw the thought and I said, thank you. Thank you for reminding me that sometimes I get a little excited, but I'm not going to attach to you. So in those first 6 months, I really had to not attach to the fear. And one of the things I want to say, we started reaching out and allowing other people to help us, marketing companies, different things like that. We didn't, I think that the thing that I failed at before was that I tried to do everything myself. With the studio, I was the janitor, I was the bookkeeper, I was the teacher, I was the CEO, I was everything. So in the first couple of months, learning to let Caitlyn do her job because she's fabulous at it, learning to trust her decisions so that I, as the business owner, could just focus on the marketing, the numbers, the energy of the space and different things like that. So by September, we incorporated, and Artemis has a few different marketing companies that they suggest. And we've used, I believe, 3 of them at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And while they've taught us a lot and did bring us some business, nobody brings business the way we bring business, because Caitlyn and I believe, so a lot of marketing companies, they'll do like auto replies. You have like these little messages that are like generic and scripted and different things like that. I'm not knocking that. If that's what your company's doing, please, if it's working for you. Caitlyn and I have a very one-on-one approach, and a lot of people right now will say, okay, but that takes a lot more time. No, not actually. It doesn't actually take that much more time. Caitlyn calls every one of our leads directly. They get a voice, phone to phone. We have decided that the marketing companies, while they have taught us many things, that our greatest asset, the person who knows the most about my business is me. The most about the consult is Caitlyn. So I think it was January. So I want to back up. So from April 20th of last year to the end of December, for our first month, or for our first year, it was 8 months, I believe, 8 months. We did about $115,000. I had a 30-month contract for my machine. I paid 7 payments on my machine and then paid it paid the remaining $17,000 off one fell swoop in October. In December, I wanted to pay our partner fees for the rooms that we are in. We upgraded from one room. Now we have 2 treatment rooms and 2 machines. And we prepaid the entire year. I'm really big on taking care of things when you have the cash, not putting things on credit. So in December, I paid all of 2022's bookkeeping fees, rent, like all of the things that are like monthly expenses. So big $20,000, boom, took care of it. I made sure that my staff had 10 days off paid for Christmas. Mm-hmm. Very big in making sure that they have time with their family. Also, another big thing I want to say is when we have single moms working for us, I don't know how many times in my career in the past I've been afraid to call somebody and say my daughter's sick, I need to stay home, because people business owners, well, I don't care about you, like I decided that the most important part of my business is my staff. That is the most important. And so I nurture them. I make sure that they feel comfortable taking care of their family. Priority one is family. I come in if I need to, we take care of things. So by Christmas, we were able to pay the girls a little extra, give them 10 days off, and upgraded from 1 room to 2 rooms. And then in January, the new goal became $30,000 a month. January was a little slow. I had a little bit of a slow start. I had hired a friend. I know I talked to you about this, Austin. I do want to touch on, hiring your friends. Caitlyn and I were acquaintances. We knew each other. We weren't, like best friends or anything before this. We are now, but before this, we didn't have a real close relationship. I think that probably worked in our best interest. I did hire somebody who had for many years wanted to work for me. And so I hired her in December, and I set the boundaries, and I let her know, what I needed. And she didn't live up to her side of the bargain. And so I had to let her go. Listen, you don't want to have to sit in a room and fire your friends, because chances are they're probably not going to be your friends after that. Unfortunately for me, that's how it works out, but it's a big learning curve for me. I cannot risk my business, my success, and the rest of my staff because I feel obligated, or I have guilt, or I have shame about my success. And I feel so, you really need to come when you hire somebody, it should be a full body yes. And you should be very comfortable with being able to set boundaries with them. So after I was able to let my friend go, we, in the past couple of months, have become full staff. So we went from just me and Caitlyn, and now we have 4 other technicians with us. And we, in January, at the end of January, I wrote a manifesto that said, in part, thank you, that from this moment forward, every single month that the that Chill Out Cryo Spa brings in $30,000 or more every single month with ease and grace. Thank you so much that we sell 15 packages every single month, and thank you for the 30 new clients that we get every single month that came with ease and grace. Thank you so much that we have new marketing strategies that work for us and with ease and grace. And that now my job is easier and flows much more abundantly. And so that manifesto I read 4 times a day. And I think the biggest one I remember is, so February, we did, I think it was 35,000. How about girl?
Yeager.
paid off that second machine only after 2 payments. But so going into March, I'm reading my manifesto, and from March 1st to March 12th, we didn't bring anything in. Nothing came in. We had a full calendar. We had plenty of clients, but we hadn't quite bring anything in for the month. The thing that was different about March was that I was full body taking in the things that I talk to my clients about: relieving stress, staying grounded and centered. believing in myself. The thing that I did different is every morning I would send her a message that said, I appreciate you so much. We're well on our way to making our goal and more. I love you. Have a great day. I didn't ask her, oh, what are you doing? Oh, let's lower the price. Oh. That's the energy that I would have before when I got fearful. And it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was pressure on you, pressure on the business, and pressure on myself. So I read that manifesto. I took a deep breath every day. And like Caitlyn said, I did not worry about the who's, the where's, the whens, the whys. I just spoke it and I believed it. And so from March 12th to March 23rd, we rang in about $16,000. Beautiful. So on March 23rd, we still had about $14,000 to ring in.
$10,000 in one day.
Actually, it was
$11,000 in one day.
$11,000 on March 31st, which closed us out for March at $38,000. So I want to let Caitlyn talk a little bit about her marketing strategies and the different ways that she talks to people, because I think it's really important for people to understand. We're getting way too deep into this automated system stuff. Okay, so I want to talk about that. But before I do, it was super eye-opening for me to watch my behavior in March. I completely believed in the core of my body that somehow, some way, it was going to be $30,000 or more. I knew that I was going to be calling Artemis and saying, send me a payoff invoice. I know I've only paid two payments, but I'm ready for my invoice. Send it to me. And I had them send it to me on March 10th, before we had even rang anything in. My body believed, my mind believed, and my soul believed with everything that I am, that we together as a team with Jamie and Courtney, that we were going to bring in the right customers with ease and grace, and that everyone was going to have wonderful results. And at the end of March, that we would have $30,000 and $38,000, 2 machines paid for, absolutely no debt. I don't have rent. I don't have anything that I pay monthly. I do have a lease for my 3rd machine. It just arrived yesterday, and to set new goals, the goal is to pay it off on June 15th.
Quick note before Caitlyn jumps in here.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you there. You have 2 treatment rooms, but 3 machines, 3 cryoskins. I don't know if my hooked on workbook didn't work for me,
Austin.
but 3 seems like more than 2. Why?
Okay, so I realized that to make the most out of the second office, that I was going to have to so our staff needs both rooms now. And so I have the 3rd machine at home where I keep it safe in case the first one or the second one breaks down. Okay, so it's purely for businesses purposes, because if one of our machines had any issues, which I do have to say we haven't had any issues. We had one. I think it was a wand or something. But other than that, we have never had to stop anything. And so when you have a schedule, right now we are booked April, May. I was even looking at June. We have to now only do like a certain amount of consults because we only have a certain amount of spaces. So the fact that I knew that I was going to have to give up my office. So I have created a spa room at home, fully licensed and insured there. So I use the machine on myself there, and I do some of the training for our staff. We currently have 2 massage therapists coming on board. And so I do some of their training there to utilize the 3rd room. But she is safe and secure at my home.
So let me see if I'm delusional here. You are buying a 3rd machine merely
bought.
Right, we're speaking into the future. Exactly. You have bought a 3rd cryoskin because you're so damn busy. You're booked out till May, such that if you have any downtime, you literally can't afford is the wrong way of framing it, but something like that. So you have a machine on standby.
At my house.
And it's just sitting there. I mean, you're using it on yourself. using it for training, but you have it there merely on standby, like a second string quarterback in case Brett Favre breaks his clavicle getting leveled by a linebacker.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I mean, if one of the machines shut down for a day or 2 days or whatever, that would be 15 clients in 2 days that we wouldn't be able to meet our requirement.
Right.
And so the third machine really is really for the fact that I just needed to make sure that we could do that. So I know we're starting to dwindle on time. So I want to open it up. Caitlyn has a really unique way of talking to our clients. They come in here pretty much decided that they're going to buy a package.
They get so disappointed when they find out I'm not the one doing their treatment. Let me just say that.
What's the secret? Share the secret.
The energy. It's all about your energy. It's all about being authentic. They can feel you. They can feel your confidence. 90% of my consults, whoever the client will speak to me and say, "You're really confident, you know that?" And I'm like, "Yes, I know, because I truly believe in this machine, because I've seen the results not only for myself but for my clients, and so I can back that." And like again, I said, energy is very important. So even with marketing, I found being very personal. So a lot of these marketing companies use these templates, and it's very generic. And it was working, but it wasn't working the way I wanted it to. And so I have fun on TikTok. I like to make reels, and I like to put my face and my voice. I like people to be able to see, feel, and hear my energy. And so I started doing personal videos, making it fun, making it where they could relate. We ran an ad earlier that we just ended it yesterday, but it ran for about 4 days and brought in a total of 20 leads, 20 consults. 29, I'm sorry. Leads. 29 leads in 4 days.
On Facebook. That means I paid $30 a day for 4 days, $120, okay, or $160.
Mm-hmm.
And she got 29 leads.
Because it's all about, people want to be able to see, feel, and hear an actual human being. They want to be able to resonate with you. They don't want to feel like they're talking to a robot. I know I put myself in my client's shoes. What would I want to see? What would spark my interest? What would catch my eye? And so I put myself in a client's shoes, and then I just create from that. And then when people message on Facebook and Instagram, they don't get the automated robot or anything like that. They don't get directed to call the office or anything like that. I get immediately on there, and I message the client back, and I get their information. I get on the phone with them, and I let them hear me and feel me. And I'm able to tell exactly what they need. I'm very intuitive, so I can feel what they need, and I'm able to help them as such.
And like I said, the consults, it's almost as if half of them have already decided that they're going to come in and do the package based on their interaction with Caitlyn and her belief and her confidence and the energy of that. Also, I have to say, this machine, there is a technique to it. Not everybody can do it. I can promise you, not everybody can get the same results. The person I had to let go of did not get even close to my results. But this lady, like 1 to 3 inches is guaranteed.
4.5 is about my average in a single 30-minute session.
How much?
Hold on.
4.5.
Hold on.
She said 4.5
inches.
Hey Siri, is my hearing broke? You are telling me that you have a client that lost 4.5 inches with one cryoskin slimming
30-minute treatment, not even the extended upgraded 44-minute, a 30-minute treatment, her first treatment, my consult. She was scheduled for a BBL and a tummy tuck that following week. Before she even left the office, she looked at me and she said, "I'm canceling my surgery. I'm buying a package right now."
Yep.
I have chills as I said that.
God.
And we have a new personality on the radio, Mel on Cat Country, and she came in for her first session. She lost 3 inches, and her before and after pictures were like mind-boggling. So that she was able to speak from the heart when she was talking and doing our advertisement for it. So
yeah, that's helped a lot tremendously.
So is there any advice out there that you want to give to the people who are doing the consults in this moment before you step away?
Just to be you, and be confident. Be confident and believe in yourself and believe in what you have to offer, believe in your services. And if you don't believe in it, do the things that can help you believe in it more.
And I could think of no better place for you, Caitlyn, to drop the mic and go crush that console. But you have to give the AirPod to Sonya.
I do.
Wow.
Thank you. It's been an honor. I appreciate you.
You're
so
awesome.
much.
Of course. Thanks for being on.
Thank you.
Wow. So what I wanted to ask Caitlyn before she jetted was, we hear these what feel like trite bromides nonstop. Just be confident. Like, yeah, okay, I've been trying to do that for 40 years. I haven't cracked the code. No, that's not my case. Just kidding. We all have insecurities, of course. What is it that you do and Caitlyn do differently from seemingly, well, I don't know about everyone else, but the majority, let's say, to where you actually have ingrained in your psyche or heart or wherever it is that it exists to cultivate this level of extreme, my gut reaction is to say that it's confidence, but it's more than that. It's this dead set belief that the things of which you have set your intention rudders on, let's say, will actually come to fruition. What the hell's the secret? How are you doing that?
Beautiful. So first of all, again, I just have to reiterate, it's my relationship with Creator. And whatever that is for you, it doesn't matter what you call it. I believe that we all go to the same one place. So having that relationship with Creator has brought me into a deeper relationship with myself. And that's really what I want to talk about in this moment. Is before, with my construction business and other things, my product was outward. It was painting walls and building houses, and I didn't have to sell myself. When I started in this industry, I realized that I had some things that I needed to work on before I could really help the other ladies that were going to come and see Caitlyn and I. And one of those things is called body dysmorphia. And so I've pretty much always been about the size that I am, maybe a little 10, 15 pounds here or there, going up or down. But I remember one time trying on the smallest pair of pants in the store, like the smallest pair of female pants in the store. I remember pulling them up, and I remember looking into the mirror, trying on a size 3 that was a little too big for me. And I remember the thought coming in, oh my gosh, I'm fat. And then it was very quickly, oh my gosh, I need help. Because I couldn't possibly be fat trying on a size 3. That wasn't right. So I began to do a lot of self-evaluation last year, with the hurricane happening and COVID and everything. I'm sure a lot of the other listeners will agree. You start to feel like you're failing, like you're being attacked, like there's something that you're doing wrong because you have all this adversity happening. And so I really had to look at, how do I talk about my body? How do I feel about my body? And I really think that this is what separates Caitlyn and I from most of the other spas around here, is that I dealt with my own body dysmorphia. I absolutely fell in love head to toe. Even when my arms were saggy and I thought they weren't pretty, I began to speak to them last year, telling them how much I loved them, that they had been my bread and butter. I was a painter, and they had supplied my family with income. So I started talking to them and loving them. I spoke to all of the places that have had surgeries and acknowledged all the energy and began to tell my thighs how beautiful they were and how powerful they were. And my body responded. And now at 47 years old, 31 separate surgeries, 3 different bouts with cancer, I look in the mirror and bringing tears to my eyes. It's a huge difference to look in the mirror and to actually get to see what's there instead of this discombobulated story that your mind tells you that you're not beautiful or you're not perfect. So the first thing that happens when ladies come into our room is, first of all, we tell them You're beautiful and you're perfect right now, just as you are. You're perfect, and everything about you is exactly the way it should be in this moment. And we always tell everyone, we want you to look in the mirror, we want you to look at your body, we want you to thank your body. And we start teaching them about the way they're speaking. When you grab a pair of pants in the closet and you go, oh, I look fat in these. That's an energy. You just told your body you're not good enough, you're fat. And so we've learned to shift those words for ourselves, for our clients. And we work every time somebody comes in. I ask them, have you been looking in the mirror? Have you been telling her how much you love her? Because it worked for me. When I fell in love with myself, I deepened my relationship with my creator. I deepened my relationship with Caitlyn. And I deepened my relationship with every single person around me, because you can truly not trust, love, or need anyone else until you've got that for yourself, inside yourself. And once we had that, the other thing I'd like to say too is, so most of the women that come here, I've probably about 75% get their bellies done. So can you imagine? That's a pretty vulnerable position. They're laying down on a table. Their belly is exposed. This is the area of their body a lot of the times that they feel is ugly or, whatever. So the first thing that we do is we acknowledge them for allowing us to be in their personal space, that it's an honor. I always touch their skin and look them in the eye and let them know that they're safe and that everything in this moment is absolutely God-led and divine. And I acknowledge them for being brave, for showing me their belly, And I think, think about it. They're exposing the body parts that are like not what they want them to be, and they're letting me get to touch them and use the machine on them. So this is a big, huge trust factor. And so I think that's like a really big part of why we are so successful with our clients, because we don't just come in and slap them on a table and start, doing cryo on them. We ask them, how's your diet? Have you been exercising? How's your communication with your body? How are you feeling? How are your results? What can we do? What can we increase? What can be better in this moment for you? And it seems to be the missing piece to a lot of businesses in the beauty, biz is that people are just their clients, their numbers, their income. And my clients, I mean, most of my clients that I see personally become like my best friends. And maybe they get to come to my house sometimes and play with Gloria there too. Who knows? But so really, I think the biggest of how I've been successful is, first of all, I recognize my value. I recognize my worth. I accepted my body for what she is, a goddess. And then now I share that love for myself with everyone around me and help them get to that same vibration as well.
I think the number one stifling set of shackles that find their way around our ankles of progress, let's say, is something like neediness. And people say money is the root of all evil. How about neediness is the root of all evil? Here's what I mean. If we have any sort of unmet need in our own domain, be it psychologically, be it materially with food, housing, income, etc., relational needs that are unmet, etc., etc., the list is quite long if you just look at Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. And if any of those are unchecked, it's going to toxify something, either the way you view yourself or the way you view others. So in this case, treating your client, like a lot of entities will do, treating your clients like cattle or dollar signs instead of, hey, this is a human being laying on my table, half naked with their tummy exposed. And that's vulnerable. And that's a kind of situation that will invariably invoke some sort of, it's a feeling of vulnerability, whatever that is. And you have to treat the person as such. And so without going off on a diatribe here, I think it's the wrong term, on a rant, let's say, we have to find ways to meet our own needs. And it seems to me that the more I look at different ways of doing that cross domains or across domains, even spanning what I was reading last night from John Carlton. He's a copywriter, he's a legend in the copywriting space. And he has an article called The Rest of Your Friggin' Life. And it's effectively a call to write yourself a letter 1 year in the future, describing with extreme clarity what you've done, what you've accomplished, how it felt, the smell of the new furniture in your home, or this sight of seeing your kids excited because this Christmas they're going to get gifts, etc. And you do that, and then it's fascinating what can come to be. And similarly with self-talk, a lot of our self-talk is just by default negative for whatever reason. I don't know why that is. I'm sure there's some sort of evolutionary underpinning of that, but it's fascinating that we can take control of the direction of our, call it rudder of progress or rudder of actualization. And I'm using like a ship analogy for rudder there, by way of what seems to be, this is the pattern across different domains from books like Think and Grow Rich. And you read the title and you're like, oh, really? I just have to think about it and I'll get rich in different domains, relationally, financially, etc. Yeah, right. Okay. Try it for 21 days. And I know we mentioned, we discussed the Psycho-Cybernetics book before the show today, and how that advocates the practice of relaxation, followed by selection of the goal and aim, followed by visualization, feeling what it would be like to attain the thing that you're in pursuit of. 30,000 a month, 35,000 a month landed in your piggy bank that month in the 11th hour. And trying to pin the tail on the donkey of attribution is tricky here, but it seems as if, again, threading a line across all these different domains, the common thread seems to be, number one, selection. And you did that with your goals in the fashion and form of the manifesto. The second piece, actually, I'm lying. The step just before that is the relaxation component. You've been practicing meditation. You probably wouldn't have been able to manifest, and I don't know if I love that term, but I will use it anyway, manifest these goals if you didn't create space in your being that was relaxed, that then believed, or rather then could believe these words that you were speaking as already having been done. And what's interesting about the nervous system, evidently, so says Dr. Maltz in that book I mentioned, Psycho-Cybernetics, is that your nervous system cannot tell the difference between a synthetic experience, so one that I'm just visualizing in my head. So I'm sitting here thinking about, okay, there's a single guy, maybe I zoom out, okay, I've met my dream wife, or I bought my dream house or whatever, and feeling what that's like in my head through thought. Your nervous system cannot distinguish that from actual perceived reality or actual experience reality. And the thought in the speaking the words via the manifesto, et cetera, or just reading your goal list or your letter to yourself in a year, whatever, it seems so unbelievably, well, let's just say unbelievable in its power, but I cannot begin to believe how many stories I've heard like this, where someone said, no, I selected it, I visualized it, and then it happened. I don't know if it was the universe, if it was God, if it was me, if it was hacking the matrix or something, but something happened and it happened. And it's so fascinating. So what would you want to leave? Well, geez Louise, I'm tempted to talk about the treatments that you've done. What do you have for time? I want to be sensitive to your time before
I'm yours. I mean, there's always somebody waiting outside the room for me, to be honest, but it's okay.
All right. Well, I would love to touch on, so two maybe closing topics that we can spend as much time as you want on. So the first would be, I wonder if a part of your success you could attribute to your finding meaning in the work that you're now doing. Because you're not just sculpting bodies. That's like the least interesting part of this whole thing in some sense.
Right.
Is there something to that statement?
Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I believe one of one of the things that I taught my girls too that work for us in here is that we are definitely not just doing cryo for people. If you believe in what you're doing and have an idea of what kind of service you want to be to the world, you can implement that no matter what you're doing, whether you're parking cars or whatever. You can bring that kind of energy. So for myself and Caitlyn and for our staff, we've definitely embodied the idea that we are helping other women and men feel confident about themselves. And I'm important. What I do is important. And I think that as I've realized what I'm doing here in the spa, that it's important, the more things are materializing financially, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. The same way I told you about how we talk to our body, and then all of a sudden our body starts believing what we're saying. Oh, I'm sexy. Okay. And then your skin starts tightening and all these things start happening. So it's very important. It's very important that I believe in my product and that I know what it is I'm bringing. So it is my opinion that Caitlyn and I are bringing to our clients a whole new visual way to see themselves and a whole new spiritual way to see themselves. And what we do is extremely important and can change someone's life. If I can change the way someone views their body, talks about their body, feels about their body, if I can help change that, everything in their life is going to change after that. And we have had countless stories. So when you start one of these beautiful businesses,
you have to go in knowing that you are going to change lives and make a difference. And that is just constantly what I just remind my staff. We're not just freezing fat here, ladies. We're changing lives, one session at a time. So can you still hear me okay, Austin?
I think your AirPods died. It's going through your computer now, which is fine.
Do I just take them out?
Yeah, you can just take them out. No worries, no worries.
All right. So I hope that answered your question. I kept getting a lot of the pods were talking in my ear, so I was a little bit distracted. But I think that's a super important, take on it. A lot of people just go in and get a job because they want to have money. They want to make money, right? So you just go into it because I'm going to make money. Caitlyn and I wake up every day and we say, how many lives can we change today? How many people can we help fall in love with themselves? How many different people can come in here leaving? So our little motto is come as you are and leave as you truly wish to be. And so, I mean, like every day, every person that I sit down with and consult or do a spiritual guiding session with or do the cryo with, my intention is to change their life, not just their body, but change their mind, body, and spirit. And if we all went in it with that type of intention, I set the intention to change lives and to empower people, then yeah, you better believe it. When the universe hears my manifesto, they're like, that lady's changing lives. Heck yeah, let's put her at the top of the list. Let's scratch that 30,000. Let's make it 38,000 this month. I truly do believe that is the way it works. The more I believe in what I'm doing, the more I believe in my staff, the more I believe in the product that we're using, the more results we're going to have. But the most important part of my business in the end result is the client. So they're not here just to bring me money. I can't look at them like that. I have to look at all of the aspects and truly embody. And so, yeah, we're not just freezing fat here. I mean, we definitely freeze some fat and tighten some skin. But what we really do is we allow women and men to see themselves as they truly are. And we help them embody that and bring that into the other aspects of their lives.
Wow. There's power to belief, turns out. Immense power.
Absolutely.
Would you be willing and or able, I don't know where your manifesto is, but would you be willing to read that for us?
I actually do not have it with me. I keep it at home. And I'm actually right now in the middle of switching it. So I finished one. I do with them for about 90 days. But again, you just make it very intimate. So I can pretty much remember what most of the one was, the last one. And it said, thank you so much, Father God, that on June 4th, I have completely finished my new business coaching program. And that in that business coaching program that I have completely embodied new marketing strategies that have made mine and Caitlyn's life easier and bring the clients in with ease and grace. Thank you so much that every single month, the cryo spa alone brings in over $30,000 with ease and grace. Thank you so much that my staff is full and that they are dedicated to me, feeling completely content with their pay and with their day and how they spend it. Thank you so much that by June, I have completely paid off our third machine. Thank you so much, universe, that we will be receiving our first acne treatment machine from Artemis by July 10th is the date that we set. Thank you so much that all of these things come with ease and they come with grace. Thank you so much that I now am in a full body practice and that I work out and feel good about myself overcoming pneumonia. Thank you so much that my bank account is fatter and bigger than it's ever been before. Thank you so much that these amazing clients turn to friends and repeat clients. Thank you so much that this is what I get to do every single day of my life. And that's it. And so I write a new one about, anywhere from 30 to 90 days. And when I finish one, I don't wad it up and throw it in the garbage can. I burn it and I give it to the universe. And when I'm burning it and I give it to the universe, I make sure that I send a lot of thanks and praise, infinite love and gratitude for all of the successes. And if there was anything on that piece of paper that didn't quite get achieved, then I send the energy of that and I release any feeling of failure or any kind of anything in my body that is a lower vibration. And I add it to the next manifesto. I put it on with ease and grace, knowing that I'll achieve it the second time around. It's very important that you use words like thank you, like you've already received it. It's already happening. And I see myself all the time. I've written checks to myself for $1 million. I've done all of those things, but this manifesto is what's really, really working for me. So wow. I hope that's what you were looking for.
Listeners won't know this unless they're watching on YouTube. The way you just did what would the term be? Let's just say spoke your manifesto. I could see you feeling having yes. attained it. So this yes. is not my goal is to make 30,000 in 1 month. I will be full. No, it's like, no, I am feeling it. It is energy. Oozing. Yes, it is oozing yes. through my being. Yes. And it is, I don't know what's happening. Maybe it's rewiring my subconscious mind. Something Absolutely. Like that is happening. And it's not just light fluff. It's felt, it's delivered with gusto, belief, and whatever the hell mechanism is being rewired or reorchestrated or reprogrammed or whatever. If you're again hacking the matrix through some sort of Neuralink like tethering from your brainstem to the universe, or maybe there's Keanu Reeves on the other end in the Matrix. He's rewriting your code, but there's something about the way in which you deliver that is compelling. So the listeners, I would implore you to take the time to select what it is that you're in pursuit of and do it with clarity. And like Sonya said, she's reading this 4 times a day.
Yes.
And it's come to fruition without
yes.
fail, which is
yes.
mind-blowing.
With ease and grace.
With ease and grace. Well, what else do you want to share with the world? Is there anything else that you have in your heart, mind, soul, or otherwise you'd want to share?
So I just want to kind of put it out there. So the first 8 months of business, we did about $115,000. At the end of the 3rd month this year, we had $82,000 at this point. And so I really just want to put, like, anyone can do this if you believe in yourself. I'm not the exception. I could be the rule. Like, we can all do this if we believe in ourselves. So it starts with you. It starts with the belief in yourself. And I want to touch on meditation just really quick, because a lot of people think that they need to sit down and they need to like be able to shut their mind off and everything's going to be perfect. So I just want to tell you, my meditation, through the help of my friend who used to be a monk, is simply this. For 30 minutes, I concentrate on the God-given air coming into my nostril, and I feel it going all the way through my head. I feel the energy of the life-giving breath going down into my chest, going all the way into my diaphragm. And I feel that air through my body. And so I don't, have to have these magical little unicorn trips and do all these massive things in there. I become present. I listen to my breath. I feel my breath. I acknowledge it. And I have learned that peace within will provide peace everywhere else. So even though the world may fall apart around me, the peace inside that comes from just being present in my body, visualizing the energy of the breath, filling up my body, filling up my lungs, taking the time, the 30 minutes in the morning, the 30 minutes at night, just to be present in who and what I am. So you don't have to have these magical journeys, just to be present in your breath. Start with 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night. Let it build. Let your manifesto, listen, the first time I read that manifesto, it probably wasn't that enthusiastic, okay? But as I went on and I believed it and felt it and acknowledged it, it becomes more and more and more. Speak it until you believe it. Speak the words. Look in the mirror when you're saying it. See how your expression is going. Know that you are worthy and that you are of value and that your time is of value. And know that each and every one of us can overcome anything. And together we're much stronger. So I have the beautiful energy of Caitlyn and my staff. And so find people who support you, that don't pull you down, that believe in you. Take time for yourself. I actually have a lot of time for myself these days. I make sure that me time's number one on the manifesto as well. And I'm taking off the entire month of May. That is exactly what I would love to end on, is that for the month of May, my entire staff is completely, they're all ready to go. They know what they're supposed to be doing. We have everything that we need. I have supplied them with everything absolutely that they need and want. And so I am going to go for 4 weeks where I have no internet, nothing to worry about. And I am just going to practice meditation, get back into my body, and really just enjoy music. And the reason I can do that is because the past year I have stuck to my goals, even when it was scary. I have believed in my staff, even when I didn't know what to do next. And I have continued to just put one foot in front of the other. And it's not always easy. I get that. I'm right there with you. But we can take the challenges and the things where, my studio with the trees on it, I take that and I look back at that now and I see where God was saying, hey, this isn't working. You're working 60, 70 hours a week and no paycheck. It's time for something else. Let me give you something else. And so I allowed God to step in and give me something else. I allowed universe to supply me with what I needed and who I needed. So when you're doing those manifestos and you're thinking about things, stop worrying about the hows, the where's, the whens, the why, right? Acknowledge what you want to receive in your life. Acknowledge it, write it as though you've already received it. Get in your breath, believe in your product, believe in the people around you, stay true to who you are, be confident in what you're doing, and know that you make a difference and your existence is important. And that's it. And I guarantee you the next time you talk to me, Austin, we're going to be talking because I became a millionaire. And before, I would never say those words, I want to be a millionaire. But you know why I want to be a millionaire? I want to be a millionaire because that means that my church is going to get 10%. I love to tithe. That means that my staff, these beautiful ladies that have children at home, are going to have the best salary that anyone in this business can see. That means that the businesses around me that are connected with me are going to be completely supported, and that I'm going to shop local. So why not me be a millionaire? Heck yeah. So that's what we're headed for. So I really just want to take this opportunity and thank you, Austin, your beautiful energy. I appreciate you recognizing my business, Chill Out Coyote Spa in Pensacola, Florida. I love Artemis. I know we're not doing a thing for Artemis, but if it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for their business plan, if it wasn't for the way that they do things, I wouldn't be here. Maybe I would with another product, I don't know. But I'm exactly where I'm meant to be, doing exactly what I'm meant to be doing. And I finally can be me now. So thank you.
Sonya, you are a work of wonder. And on that note, let's hang our hats. Where can the listeners connect with you if they want to say hi or come in and see you?
Beautiful. So you can find us at chilloutcryospa.com, on Facebook, Chill Out Cryo Spa. We also are affiliated with Empathic Practice in Pensacola, Florida, Holistic Healing Center. And you can also find me. A lot of people know me as Zoe Starr. That is my soul name. So you can look me up on Facebook as well and see all the other aspects of what we offer here at Empathic Practice and Chill Out Cryo Spa.
Amazing. Well, thank you for the time. I had a ball, and I'm sure we'll be connecting here soon. I can't wait to hear you tell me, Austin, I'm a millionaire. Oof.
It's coming.
Can't wait. It's coming. Awesome, Sonya. Well, we'll be in touch. And again, thanks for being on.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.